Hey everyone, Toshi here. So as the turn-based gamer enthusiast as I am, I want to talk about the similarities between Honkai Star Rail and other turn-based games in that genre, such as Summoner's War, Epic 7, and Artery Gear Fusion. That's pretty much as far as my knowledge goes when it comes to turn-based games, so I'm sorry if I didn't say your favorite game in this video. But let's hop right into it. So Honkai Star Rail is 3D in all aspects. The cell shading of the characters, so the full character models are 3D. Then you have the ultimate skills is also in a 3D animation. There is a cutscene that plays for each. Oh, you also do have the overworld is 3D, not a 2D landscape, and the gacha. The gacha for the game is also 3D. Now let's move on to the element system. So comparative to other turn-based games, Honkai Star Rail does follow the traditional element system, the RGB turn, rock, paper, scissors kind of thing. So in Honkai Star Rail, we do have physical, fire, ice, lightning, wind, quantum, and imaginary. The best way I can kind of describe this is think of physical as, just normal typing from Pokemon. Think of fire as red. Think of ice as blue. Think of lightning as, purple. And think of wind as green or grass. And then there's quantum and imaginary. This is kind of pretty much dark and light. Now, unlike other turn-based gacha games out there currently, Honkai Star Rail does not have a true light and dark system. It's almost as if that the quantum imaginary is kind of similar to that of a light and dark. It's just the only difference is that even though you can just say that it is a light and dark element, the only difference between this and other games is that there is no decreased summon chance for each character. The characters that may be quantum, imaginary, light, and dark are not harder to get than a character of a RGB element typing. Epic 7 and Summoner's War both do have light and dark units. It's called Moonlights in Epic 7, and Summoner's War is called LD, characters light, dark. Artery Gear doesn't have any of those two. It just has RGB characters. But however, in Epic 7 and Summoner's War, the LDs, the light and dark units, do have a decreased chance in the general summoning pool to actually obtain. Honkai Star Rail doesn't have a decreased chance for their light and dark, quantum, and imaginary units. It's the same as every other RGB character in the game. So, just like traditional turn-based gacha games, Honkai Star Rail also does have a character skill tree system. So, in Summoner's War, you do have double bonds to upgrade the abilities of your characters. For Epic 7, you do have Mologoras to upgrade those skills of your characters. And then for Artery Gear Fusion, you have advanced decoder chips to upgrade the SSR 5-star characters in that game. Honkai Star Rail follows the same system. In this game, you would use trace materials, they call it, because the abilities in this game are called traces. So you use trace materials to upgrade the abilities for your characters, and as you upgrade the abilities, you do unlock further added effects to those abilities and unlocking new ones as well. And that also does increase the stats of your characters too. Okay, now let's talk about the gearing system. So in Honkai Star Rail, there is relics, artifacts, gear. That's pretty much the way of saying gear, and the gear does come in the 6 variances. So you have the head, the hands, the body, the feet, the necklace, and the ring piece. That's pretty much, it's called article in this game, but ring is pretty much the way it is in Epic 7. And in Summoner's War, you have the runes. Think of it as the same as, slot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Traditionally, like the other games, you do have flat HP, flat attack, flat defense for the first 3 main stats. And then the other 3 main stats, you have speed, HP, attack, defense. You have elemental damage, energy restore, HP, and attack or defense for the necklace. So that would be your slot 5. And then for the article, which is going to be your ring, you would have crit rate, crit damage, effect, hit rate, healing bonus, HP, attack, or defense. And that's going to be your slot 6. Just like the other turn-based games, the chances of obtaining crit rate or crit damage, elemental damage on your necklace, energy restoration, speed on your boots is going to have a lower chance than all of the other stats you could obtain in those pieces. However, the saving grace for this game is that the head, hands, and body are all flat stats. main, so all you need to worry about is obtaining the substats on those pieces. Just like other games, you would kind of worry about the left side. A lot of people who play Epic 7 say, oh, focus on the left side first, and then you can focus on the right side of gearing. And that's the same for Summoners War. You would focus on the flat main stats, and then the substats you would get on those runes as well. And for the relics in this game, there is 2, 4, and 5 piece added effects or bonuses that come with having, 2 relics, 4 relics, or 5 relics from the same set. And that depends on the set you actually have the relics on. And as I said before, this is a gacha game, so just like Epic 7 and Summoners War, you obtain the characters, you obtain most of the stuff. Pretty much 95% of the games is character collecting, and the character collecting is in the form of gacha, as traditional gacha games. And so on the banners, you do have the certain amount of currency you need to summon. In this game, Honkai Star Rail, they use passes for the standard banner, and then they use special passes for the limited banner. So the best way I can kind of describe this is there's 3 specific banners. Okay, Honkai Star Rail has a 3 banner system. The first banner is a standard banner. The second banner is a light cone banner. This is going to be weapons for each specific character that give added stats, added effects to that specific niche character. And then you do have a limited banner, and this is going to be the banner in which the raid up character is on that banner, and the special character on that banner will be available for a specific amount of time. And that character that is only limited banner will never go to the standard or the permanent banner in the game. So if you played Epic 7, you have the limited, banners. There's limited RGB characters in that game. There's limited collab banners in that game. And there also is limited Moonlight banners also. So the limited banners in Epic 7 also do have characters that would never go to the general summoning pool, and Honkai Star Rail is no exception. And in Summoners War, well, there's just no banners. Still, that's surprising. There's still no banners in that game. So in Honkai Star Rail, you do have your daily quest, just like you would in any traditional turn-based game. You do the missions, and you get rewards in the form of character ascension materials and stellar jades, or this game's version of summon currency. You also get XP for your overall account level. And this game does have an energy-based system, stamina, resin, like Genshin. Other games, they call it energy. Epic 7 is energy, Summoners War is energy, and RWBY Gear Fusion is also energy. You use energy to do everything in the game. To do dungeons, you use energy. To do any type of weekly boss, you use energy. To do any relic domains, you use energy. You pretty much use the Trailblaze power is what they call it in this game, the energy to do everything you would do in the game to grind each day. And that does regenerate like it does in other games. It does take a while to regenerate in Honkai Star Rail, so you wouldn't really be looking to log in more than once a day, unfortunately. Please do keep in mind that in Honkai Star Rail, energy that you are given in the game isn't as generous as it is in other turn-based games. So Summoners War, you can buy a lot of energy using crystals, so you can pretty much effectively farm all day long. In Epic 7, you can also buy energy using Sky Stones. However, that game does give you a lot of energy each day by completing events, so you can pretty much farm all day if you wanted to. In Honkai Star Rail, they really do not give much energy to you. You do get energy as you level up your account and completing certain tasks in the game, but that's very limited, and they don't give out energy during events. So don't expect to farm all day is what I'm saying. You probably farm 10 minutes a day and then log off and rinse and repeat each day. So it's going to be a lot more grindy than other turn-based gacha games. And even if you wanted to actually buy Trailblaze power or the energy system in this game, it does increase each time you do buy energy. So please do keep in mind, the first time you buy, it's like 60 energy you get, or 50, around that. And then you buy it again, and then it does cost more than the first time you bought it. And you do buy the energy in this game with the form of summon currency, and that's going to increase each time you do buy the energy using that summon currency. So yeah, please do keep that in mind. And just like the other turn-based games, there is endgame in Honkai Star Rail. So traditionally, you would have the early game, the mid game, and the end game. You progress your account in the beginning, you get a lot of characters in the early game. In the middle game, you're pretty much building your characters, and you're also summoning for more characters. You're getting relics, your artifacts, you're gearing each character. And once you hit the end game, you will probably look for a high-end gear. You'll also probably be more niche and specific with the characters you do summon or roll on your account. And also, you do tackle the in-game content around this stage of the game. And there is a couple in-game modes at the time of launch. There is Forgotten Hall and Stimulated Universe. These are going to be two separate game modes. The first one is going to be like a Spiral Abyss from Genshin Impact. You have certain floors that do reset, and you do have some floors also in the beginning that don't reset, and you have a one-time reward you unlock as you complete those floors. And then the Stimulated Universe is going to be kind of like Elysian Realm if you played Honkai Impact. And in that game mode, you go up floors pretty much. So think of it like a Tower Ascension in a sense from Summoner's War. And then think of it as a automation tower from Epic 7. You go up the floors and it progressively gets harder. You can unlock certain cards, and you use those cards to upgrade your team, your characters as you progress the harder stages. And then once you do reach the end stage, you have a boss at the end of it. And then once you beat the boss, then you pretty much beat the mode and you unlock the rewards at the end. Currently, at the time of my recording, Honkai Star Rail does not have an end game in the form of PvP. So in Epic 7, there is the World Arena, there is the regular Static Arena. In Summoner's War, you also have the World Arena and you have the Static Arena. In Artery Gear, you do have the regular arena, and there also was RTA, GVG, Guild Battles in Epic 7 and Summoner's War as well. However, Honkai Star Rail unfortunately doesn't have any PvP in the form of Guild Battles, World Arena, Static Arena, despite having the systems in place for that game mode, with speed being a popular substat. Yeah, this is a head scratcher for me as well, but maybe that's subject to change in the future. We'll just have to wait and see. And last but not least, Honkai Star Rail does also have autoplay, just like the traditional turn-based games. I think this was a very nice quality of life feature coming from the developers, and I'm very happy to hear that this game will also have autoplay. It's very nice, and it does alleviate a lot of the grind if you will have multiple accounts like me. And that pretty much wraps up this video. I hope you all got something out of this. Honestly, I want to say I did not go too into depth in this video comparing, Honkai Star Rail to all the other turn-based games. And the only reason is because there is a lot of information to cover when it comes to Honkai Star Rail. So I would need to make separate videos, or else this video will be an hour long. That's all I'm saying. But that's it. Thank you all for watching, and have a nice rest of your day. Peace.